You did what I'm saying. If they all hollers, I'm a counterfeit. Yeah, I wanted money, I couldn't enjoy a class.
It's your boy, yadiiiigg, 4 I's, 2 G's, and today we are here with another week of sales predictions, and it's time for flop or not, where I go through the sales predictions and give my quick thoughts whether they are a flop or not commercially, and then I'll give my quick little initial thoughts on the albums as a whole and what I think of them. Quick and easy video today, guys. Make sure to let me know what you guys are thinking about Young Thug's Beautiful Thugger Girls and 2 Chainz Pretty Girls Like Trap Music. But enough talking, I want to get to it. Also, guys, before we get into it, make sure to follow your boy on all social medias. You know how it goes: Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Also, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, please. But let's get it. Kicking it off with Young Thug, and this week featured on the list for the HDD predictions are 3 people who are projected to sell 20k and above, and Young Thug's name is shockingly not included on this list, so it can only be assumed that they are projecting that Young Thug will sell under 20,000 and haven't included him on the list because he doesn't reach that threshold. Put simply, are these numbers a flop? Yes, at this stage it is a flop. Again, it's hard to say indefinitely as these are just projections, but if they are accurate, it is not looking good for Young Thug at all. After Jeffree sold 37,000 first week, he really shouldn't be receding to less than 20k. Rather, he would want to be pushing to 40k plus, but realistically anywhere in the region of 35 to 40k is decent. However, as these numbers are standing and looking right now, this is definitely a flop, and really anything under 30k is just not good enough for Young Thug at this point. And this just highlights yet again the poor rollout and promotion of Thug projects. Firstly, there were no singles released leading up to this album at all. I don't know why you wouldn't release like the Future song, for example, because I think that could have done numbers and built up hype for it, but they didn't release that or any other material from the album beforehand. And secondly, even the promotional singles that were released leading up to it, like Safe for All the Time, weren't released on any streaming services or anything else other than YouTube, so they weren't really able to connect or grow or build hype for the project either. And then on top of this, the release date was constantly in question, and it was getting announced, then pushed back, and then even on the 16th we were unsure if the album was even going to come out. There always seems to be something going wrong when it comes to the release of a Thug project, and unfortunately this one is no different. I do hope the sales grow and it gets to that 30 to 40k mark, because that would be alright, but as it's standing and looking right now, it is a flop. And then secondly, we get to 2 Chainz, and for 2 Chainz, these numbers are basically what you would expect. He's projected to sell 55 to 60k, and at this stage in his career and in this climate, anything around the 50 to 60k mark is sold for him. He had a nice little run leading up to the album with strong singles like Good Drank, 4am, and Big Amount, which all ended up on the project. His last solo album sold 63k first week, and although he is projected for 55 to 60k, I have a feeling he might end up doing a little bit more than that as people are really feeling this album. But either way, this definitely isn't a flop for 2 Chainz, and these numbers are decent. Now we get to the second part of the video where I'll give my quick thoughts on the albums and whether I think they flopped quality wise. And firstly for Thugger, and this is what I was getting at in my other video, sales have never and will never determine quality, and this is rung true for every single Thug project for me. Leading up to this album, I was definitely a little worried as I haven't been a huge fan of the material that Thug released beforehand. Songs like Safe and All the Time didn't really do much for me personally, and I didn't like that direction too much. And although I haven't given this project as much attention as I want, as I've been super busy with real life commitments, but I can say that I think Thug really came through and dropped another quality project on us. I love that it was short and to the point. I love that Thug took risks on this and they really paid off, and I love the whole laid back and the chill and the breezy carefree vibes that this project gave off as a whole. It really is a feel good album, and it kind of ebbs and flows really nicely throughout. This album isn't quite on the level of Barter 6 for me personally, which is my favorite Thug project, but there are a few tracks that stand up against my all-time favorites from Thug. The track with Future is a standout and is probably my favorite on the tape so far. The 2 really came through on that and it sounds so nice. And Millie Go Lightly, I had no idea who she was before the tape, but her voice is beautiful. She killed it on this and I loved her on that intro. Thug definitely did not flop for me quality wise on this one. And name me another rapper who has given you crucial crucial dental advice. People just ain't doing it like Thugger in 2017. I do need to sit on this album for longer to really put all of it together, but as it stands right now, I'm liking it a lot. And next we move on to the 2 Chainz project, which I'm liking a bit as well. It's pretty standard 2 Chainz. The project is consistent as fuck, and he comes through as witty as ever. His flows on these beats are on point and as sharp as ever, and ultimately you really get what you expect from 2 Chainz on this album. Riverdale Road is standing out as my favorite from the album so far. The beat is just so eerie, and 2 Chainz is just so aggressive and hungry on it. If you have enjoyed what he has done in the past, there is no reason why you won't like this. He isn't reinventing the wheel, he isn't doing anything revolutionary, but it just gives you that classic 2 Chainz ignorant, I'ma do whatever the fuck I want feel, and it goes over great. Alright guys, that's all from me today. Thanks a lot for watching. Make sure to let me know what you think about these sales and your opinions on these projects. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow your boy on all social medias for more.